Hey, I'm Renee, but you can call me Blade, and this is the Oh My God Show. So today, I wanna pay tribute to the original idea of my channel, which is basically to tell Bible stories. I love Bible stories. They have helped me in my life. I got saved at 11 years old. That's like 20 odd years ago, and God has been amazing in my life. And I remember even as a child going through the Word of God, and I always just love the stories. And one of my favorite stories, one of my favorite stories is about Esther, the book of Esther. So in the Bible there is the book of Esther. It's like a relatively short book. It has 10 chapters, and today we're going to be talking about chapter 1 and 2. Yes, I intended to talk about the whole thing in one video, but it's not gonna happen because it's really, actually it's short, but it's really, there's so much stuff that you can actually pinpoint and think about. Sorry, I have to talk so fast because I'm losing daylight. That's what happens when you don't have proper lighting and you have to depend on the sun, and the sun is going anyway. Sorry. Yeah, so I hope you will be able to tolerate. I can see the video is a bit dark, but yeah, I don't know if I'll have to redo this video, but yeah. The orphan girl who became the queen. So what had happened was, so King Xerxes, now I actually usually like to speak from my mind, but I really don't want to miss too much of the details, so I'm just gonna kind of read it. I actually went through and I just literally took notes. Maybe I could have just googled and got it somewhere online, but no, I decided to just do it myself. So King Xerxes, who reigned from India to Ethiopia, had a banquet, and it lasted for 120 days. So the king was having a banquet that was to display all his wealth and riches to people. He was having like a banquet for his officials, and after that he actually had also an official for the people. So it was a rich king, and it was good to show off what you had. And the Queen Vashti was an extraordinarily, a very attractive, very beautiful lady, and she was out also having a banquet for the women as well. So it was literally like a party. Like, I cannot even imagine a party that lasts for more than a week, but yeah, so it was really big party. So in the last day of the feast, right, the king sent eunuchs, and you know eunuchs, right? They are castrated men usually who serve in the palace, and they take care of things, to bring the queen to him to show off her beauty to his guest, because she was exceptionally beautiful, as I said. But she refused to go to the king, right? So the king obviously got very angry and instructed his was instructed by his advisors that he should have her removed from her position and replace her because of her actions, which would teach other women in the kingdom to disrespect their husbands, right? So beautiful young virgins were sought throughout all the kingdom, and then they were given beauty treatments so that they could later, appear before the king and see who he would choose to replace Vashti as queen. Mordecai, so there was this Jewish girl called Adassa. That was her real name. Was an orphan because obviously orphan means your mom and your dad died. So she was adopted by her cousin. Often I'm confused to say uncle because it's like, I think old enough to be her uncle, but in my mind, but she was his cousin, and he had raised her as if she were his daughter, and it seemed they really had a really good relationship. So Esther, she would listen to basically anything that her uncle told her, like we're all supposed to. If we have good relatives or elders and stuff, in most cultures you're expected to be respectful and to be obedient to those people. So there was this person called Agai who was put in charge of the girls, and Esther impressed them above all of the maids in the palace, and she was placed in the best place. She was given like the best maids as well. But still, with all of that, she found favor with them. She liked them, they liked her and everything, but she did not tell them of her background, like where she was really from. And by now she had told him her name is Esther. So she still did not tell anybody. Every day, the uncle would walk by just to check on her, see what's going on, people over there and stuff, she's okay. And these beauty treatments were lasting like for over a year of beauty treatment. Then the girls would get her term to go into the king, basically to sleep with the king, to see who he would prefer to be his wife. The girls could have they could have like any clothing or jewelry that they wanted, but Esther, she decided that she was only going to take whatever we're gonna call them her attendants, whatever they said she should take. That's what she would have taken. But basically she could take whatever she wanted, ask for whatever she wanted. But she decided, I think she was just raised to be very respectful and obedient, so she just listened to what they said she should take. So they instructed her what she should take. So the king loved her more than all of the other girls, and then he made her the queen, right? But even though she was the queen, she still kept her identity a secret, right? Yeah, so sorry, I feel like it's probably a bit boring because I was reading, but I really didn't want to you know, like just forget what I need to say. So yeah, so that was like the basis of the little background of the story. And this young lady, she was just, you know, even when I'm reading it to you now, I'm thinking of, you know, just being obedient, you know, just being obedient nowadays as well. Like so many of us, you know, we're not obedient, we don't listen to anybody, we don't really have anybody who can, because as well some of us, we don't have a lot of positive role models or people we can trust. So you find that, you know, you can lose trust in people and just basically just ride solo or do what you want to do. But yeah, it's always good if you have people in your life who you can trust, or people who can guide you into making positive decisions, and just listening to those who are set above you, or those who are actually wiser, older or wiser. Mordecai would have had his reasons. Maybe she wouldn't have been old enough to even understand his reasons, but she was instructed to hide her identity. And again, she went into the palace with that attitude of, you know, listen to those who probably know more than I do. Imagine the attendants to the king would know what would impress the king. So she actually got to bring whatever they would have thought would have impressed the king. And she got his the king's attention, and she was made queen. And one of the main lessons as well I learned from this story, you know, so many of us are from backgrounds of nothingness, backgrounds of rejection, background of poverty, or even if you're not financially poor, sometimes just backgrounds of, you know, abuse or incest, or just bad treatment, or being treated like a slave in your own house, or having to, you know, always be the black sheep of the family, or anything like that, you know. And sometimes our stories really start really bad. It starts I don't even know how old this child was when her parents died. If one parent died, imagine how painful that is. Both of your parents are dead, and everybody's gonna know, oh, poor little girl, you know. Some as well, you live in self-pity, or, you know, some cultures as well, people want to know whose daughter are you, or which family are you from. Nobody wants to marry basically a nobody, and stuff like that. So, you know, her story, her background is of just a girl who started off life with very, very unfortunate circumstances. And she still, I'm sure she must have been a person with a good heart or a good personality, that she started getting favor from people wherever she went. So because her story or her background was not going to stop her from being amazing, from being loving, from maybe smiling, from just trusting in God to write or rewrite your destiny. So if you are going through a situation where you feel like you're nobody, or you're beneath, or you've been through some stuff that's supposed to keep you back, God is able to take anything and turn it around for your good. So please just be encouraged. Do not feel like because of what is your present situation, it doesn't have to determine your destiny. Whether you're living a life of sin or a life of just pain in general, God is able to take you out of that. Just stay alive long enough to make a difference. Stay alive long enough to recover from whatever bad things that has been dealt to you in life. So yeah, so, you know, I guess everybody likes a good fairy tale stories, and I always tell my friends that I am such a sucker for fairy tale stories. Like, I just like the rags to riches, or you were in such a bad state and just God took you out, or, you know, God sent somebody to assist you. And yeah, I am such a sucker for these kind of stories. So thank God that I was able to share this story with you. It's a simple story. I'm gonna do more videos to continue the story, but for now I will just talk about how this girl becomes queen, and the plot is going to thicken in the next video. But I think I might have to stop recording because I'm losing sunlight. So I'll wait for the sun again, and I'll make the next video. Love you. God bless. Take care of yourself. Hi, I'm Renee. My name is Renee, but today I am Blade as usual, and I am gonna be cutting. Bye bye. Take care.